We're going to take a look at the Scamper technique, and Scamper is designed to give you some methods to generate some ideas when you might get stuck. Hannah is our client, and Hannah, your challenge statement that you want to get some ideas for is, what might be all the ideas for a memorable Halloween costume? Hannah, just give us a little bit of background so we can kind of get something for the group to go on.
Well, Halloween is coming up. I have no idea what I'm going to dress up as. And it will be my last year in the U.S., so I want it to be memorable.
Great. Terrific. Okay, group, what are all the ideas that come to mind for solving the challenge of what might be all the ideas for a memorable Halloween costume for Hannah? Write them, say them, hand them up.
So he's starting right now just with brainstorm with Post-its, just to get an initial kind of mind dump of ideas. So Scamper really comes in handy once the group starts to kind of slow down
Great.
with their idea
All right,
production.
that's great. Now let's play around with this a little bit. Let's try the Scamper technique just a little bit. So let's think of substitute. When you think of the word substitute, what comes to mind as far as all the ideas for a memorable Halloween costume? And we think about substitute, what could we use instead? What other process, what other method could be used? So what comes to mind when you think of substitute for ideas for a memorable Halloween costume? What do we got?
Well, I have dressed up like a creative studies professor, Dr. Firestein. So I have.
Okay, great. So that's substitute. Great. Good. Other substitute.
Be Halloween.
Okay, great. Good. What else?
Made out of plastic.
Okay, great.
Two of the same ideas came, and they put them both up there. That's what you want to do.
Santa Claus.
Okay, great. Now let's play with combine. When you think of creating a Halloween costume, what comes to mind when you think of combine? Combine is what could be. How about a blend? What could we combine with this? What can we add to this? So, what ideas come to mind when you think of combine and creating a memorable Halloween costume? What do we got?
Made out of ping pong balls and peanut butter.
Great, thank you. Good.
Where's
all natural components.
Great, terrific. Thanks.
edible costume?
Great,
Get two buddies, make yourself an Oreo cookie.
excellent.
Where's
Good.
duct tape? Purple.
Okay, terrific.
Buying fabric.
Great. Okay, that's great. Adapt. What else is like this? What could we? What offers a similar substitution? So, what could we adapt to create a memorable Halloween costume?
Internal lighting.
Okay, good.
Create a theme with a friend.
Great. Adapt. Organic rug.
Mud costume.
Great.
Make out of a box.
Great. Super. Okay. Let's think about modify. And we think about modify. What if we made it bigger? What if we made it smaller? What if we added a new twist to it? So, what comes to mind for creating a memorable Halloween costume when we think of modify? What do you got?
Supersize yourself.
Great. Super.
Wear
Giant.
stilts.
Great. Thank you.
Add a theme.
Excellent.
Giant Post-it.
Okay. Good.
Work from an old costume.
Great. What you got?
Crawl around.
Okay.
Buy a jetpack.
Okay. Great. What you got?
Alter a store-bought costume.
Great.
Mini Mike.
Okay. Great. Super.
Say it.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at this. Let's play around with put to other uses. What else could be used? What other material, resource could be used? Put to other uses. So what comes to mind when you think of put to other uses for ideas for a memorable Halloween costume?
A recycle costume.
Great, thanks.
See, we're making sure they state it. There's a couple of them out there that will try and hand it to you, but you want to make sure they've said it.
Post-it note costume.
Great,
Use items from your garbage.
terrific. Use that.
Use balloons as jelly beans.
Good.
Go to Salvation Army.
Notice the
Okay,
flip
let's play around
charts.
with eliminate. What comes to mind when you think of eliminate? What could you eliminate to create a memorable Halloween costume? What do we got?
Use your old junk.
Okay, great. Good. What else?
Flip charts are numbered.
Birthday suit.
Okay, great. Okay, eliminate clothes. There you go. Good.
Make it invisible.
Okay,
Guidelines are posted.
Eliminate the store.
Okay, great.
Group is engaged.
Others for eliminate.
Bathing suit.
Okay, great.
Go naked.
Okay, great.
Wear the emperor's new clothes.
See, now they're getting
Beautiful.
playful.
Okay. How about rearrange? What comes to mind when you think of rearrange? When we think about rearrange, we talk about what other patterns could you use, what other arrangements could you use, what could you interchange. So what comes to mind when you think of rearrange and create a memorable Halloween costume? What do we got?
Duct tape.
Great.
Wear top backwards.
Notice he's modeling, looking at
Okay.
the Scamper sheet for additional ways to state it.
Play on words such as serial killer, as in cornflakes.
Okay.
Be a wine girl with old wine bottles.
Two
Beautiful.
different costumes, one on the top and the bottom.
Great.
Fun costume.
Okay,
Skirt
excellent.
or pants on head.
That's
gloves
great.
on face.
Okay, get your last couple of ideas down. That should do it. Okay, let me get these. All right, and then we'll just recap it. So what we just did was we took a look at, do we have some ideas here for you?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. We generated some ideas for the challenge statement of what might be all the ideas for a memorable Halloween costume. We used the Scamper technique, which is substitute, combine, adapt, modify, which you can also be magnify or minify, put to other uses, eliminate, or rearrange. And just so that you remember Scamper, where do you keep your Scamper? In your hamper. And where do you keep your hamper? In your camper. So you have a Scamper hamper in the camper. That's Scamper.
So Scamper.
Scamper.
A very useful tool to have in the facilitator kit. You can do it formally. That was more of a sort of a formal application in terms of going through every specific letter.
One in order.
Right. Either
Yep.
substitute, combine, adapt, etc. Oftentimes, I'll use it informally. That is, I'll pick a few questions and sort of intersperse them in an idea generation session. And some questions spur more ideas than others, and that's fine.
Yeah, I'll always tell students, a lot of times you can write your questions beforehand and revise them so that they're very specific to the issue or challenge or whatever it is that you're working on, and you can tell which letters actually will spur more ideas. So you have those ready. And I also used to tell them, I used to keep this sheet, a cheat sheet on me. And whenever I was doing brainstorming with Post-its, any of the Divergent tools, if there was a lull, I could quickly pull out my little sheet and pick a Scamper question that was going to fit well and really move us forward when I needed it.
Scamper.
Scamper.